Have you ever wondered what would happen if, with just a simple metal wire plunged into the earth, no fertilizers, no pesticides, no heavy machinery, crops could still flourish more vigorously than usual, perhaps even yielding 2 or 3 times their normal output? If this sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel, you're certainly not alone in that thought. Yet, nearly a century ago, a dedicated group of individuals not only believed this to be possible, but actively experimented, meticulously documented their findings, captured photographic evidence, published reports, and even managed to capture the attention of official scientific bodies. Despite this initial recognition, these groundbreaking efforts subsequently vanished almost entirely from the annals of modern agricultural history, as if they had never occurred. Today, here on Farm Life Daily, we're inviting you to journey back in time with us, to piece together these forgotten fragments and revisit an idea that once captivated the world's curiosity before quietly receding into obscurity. Hello there, and thank you for joining us today at Farm Life Daily. This isn't just a place where we discuss conventional farming methods. It's also where we dare to challenge long-held beliefs and question what might seem like immutable truths. Because agriculture, much like nature itself, remains infinitely open to fresh perspectives and new understandings, provided we are curious enough and brave enough to re-examine the past with a clear and open mind. Our story commences with a man of humble origins, far removed from the prestigious halls of academia or renowned universities. Let's call him Adrien Vallois, a French farmer born in the mid-19th century. Vallois grew up immersed in the fields, developing a profound connection to the land and its seasonal cycles from a very young age. Unlike many of his contemporaries, however, he refused to accept the notion that plants were merely biological machines solely requiring soil, water, and fertilizer. Vallois firmly believed that nature harbored invisible energy currents that humanity had yet to fully comprehend, and that plants, with their intricate structures, might be utilizing these energies in ways that contemporary science simply hadn't caught up to explain. For decades, Vallois diligently pursued his experiments. He inserted metal rods into the earth, meticulously shaped copper wires into various configurations, and keenly observed how plants responded to these interventions. While not every experiment yielded immediate, clear-cut results, over time, a recurring pattern became evident. In areas where metal structures were arranged in specific ways, plants consistently grew taller, appeared more robust, and exhibited greater resistance to pests and diseases. To Vallois, this was far from mere coincidence. He was convinced that he was influencing a natural element that had always existed but had been largely overlooked. In the mid-1920s, Vallois decided to formalize and systematize his extensive work. He applied for a patent for a device he described as capable of harnessing atmospheric energy from the surrounding environment and directing it into the cultivated soil. This device operated without a motor, required no batteries, and did not generate electricity in the conventional sense. It comprised only very simple components: copper wires, magnetic steel, and a deliberate, thoughtful arrangement of these materials. That patent, though rarely mentioned today, stands as a legal landmark, demonstrating that this seemingly unconventional idea was once considered serious enough to warrant official recognition. In the years that followed, Vallois began to publicize his findings through books, pamphlets, and articles distributed within the gardening community. He proudly showcased photographs of unusually large vegetables and expansive fields where crops flourished far more vigorously than those in control plots. Word of his work quickly spread, not only across France, but also into other European nations. While some hailed it as miraculous, others remained understandably skeptical. Nonetheless, it's undeniable that the story captured the interest of official research institutions. In the United Kingdom, in the aftermath of World War I, the government established a dedicated committee to investigate novel cultivation methods involving electricity and energy. This committee diligently gathered documents, photographs, and reports from various European countries, including accounts of experiments strikingly similar to Vallois. For several years, they meticulously observed, compared findings, and recorded their observations. Remarkably, while these documents stopped short of making strong affirmative conclusions, they also notably refrained from outright rejecting the observed results. Instead, what followed was a period of caution, reserved statements, and ultimately, a profound silence. The majority of these reports were never widely disseminated, and the entire subject slowly drifted out of the mainstream of agricultural science. To truly grasp why Valois's ideas held such compelling potential, it's essential to revisit a very fundamental physical reality. Between the Earth and the atmosphere above it, a natural electrical potential difference constantly exists. The air carries a positive electrical charge, while the ground is negatively charged. Between these two poles lies a weak yet continuous electrical field, present day and night, whether humans are aware of it or not. Plants, with their upper parts exposed to the air and their roots deeply embedded in the soil, are situated precisely within this electrical field. From a physical standpoint, each plant can be regarded as a complex structure capable of conducting and distributing electrical charges. Modern biology has unequivocally demonstrated that plants are far from passive organisms. Within them, sophisticated bioelectrical signals orchestrate growth processes, facilitate responses to injury, light, and their surrounding environment. Even minute alterations in the ambient electrical field can profoundly influence how plant cells function. From this perspective, the concept that enhancing or redirecting the natural electrical currents around plants could significantly impact their development no longer seems entirely far-fetched. Valois and his like-minded contemporaries believe that the copper wires and metal structures function merely as passive antennas, enabling plants to connect more effectively with the Earth's natural electrical field. Crucially, no artificial energy was introduced into the system. No powerful electrical currents coursed through the soil. Everything relied entirely on the inherent energies already present in nature. This approach stood in stark contrast to methods employing high-voltage electricity or active power-generating devices, which inherently carried significant risks and were unsuitable for conventional farming. However, the economic and societal landscape of the 20th century was rapidly transforming. Agricultural industrialization surged, fueled by the advent of inexpensive synthetic fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers delivered immediate, quantifiable results and were easily scalable for widespread application. Yet, they also fostered a dependency model, compelling farmers to purchase new inputs every growing season. Within this burgeoning commercial paradigm, simple, low-cost, and long-term solutions like electroculture were simply no longer prioritized. They simply didn't align with the burgeoning logic of industrial production and the marketplace it was creating. Gradually, electroculture became labeled as eccentric, lacking scientific foundation, and was often relegated to the fringes of scientific thought. This didn't happen because it was definitively proven wrong, but rather because nobody was willing to invest the time and resources to conclusively prove it right or wrong. Thus, a chapter of agricultural history closed not with robust scientific refutation, but with quiet indifference. It wasn't until many decades later, as agriculture began to grapple with pressing new challenges such as soil degradation, escalating input costs, and the growing demand for reduced chemical use, that people started to reconsider these older ideas with fresh eyes. Indeed, some modern research, conducted on a larger scale and with more precise measurement tools, has revisited the concept of harnessing natural electrical fields in cultivation. The results indicate a potential for significantly increased yields and reduced pest and disease pressure. While the specific approaches and technologies may differ from Valois's time, the core principle remains the same: utilizing the inherent energies readily available within the environment. It's crucial to emphasize that no single method offers a miraculous, all-encompassing solution. Electroculture, if proven effective, is merely one piece within the larger, intricate mosaic of sustainable agriculture. It certainly doesn't completely replace the fundamental requirements of healthy soil, clean water, or sound ecological management. Yet, Valois's story serves as a powerful reminder that scientific progress doesn't always follow a linear, uninterrupted path. Some ideas are left behind not because they are inherently flawed, but because they simply didn't align with the prevailing historical circumstances of their time. Today, as we stand amidst vast fields nourished by millions of tons of synthetic fertilizers annually, the question extends beyond merely how much food we can produce. it also encompasses what we are truly sacrificing in the process. Our soils, ecosystems, and human health are all profoundly impacted by our chosen agricultural practices. In this context, revisiting and thoughtfully considering methods that rely more heavily on natural principles, whether ancient or newly discovered, is undoubtedly worthwhile. This narrative isn't an appeal for you to immediately believe every claim about copper wires or atmospheric energy. Instead, it's an invitation to ask critical questions, much as Valois himself once did. What if nature is far more intricate and nuanced than the simplified formulas we currently employ? What if there are crucial elements we've overlooked simply because they are challenging to measure or don't promise immediate economic returns? At Farm Life Daily, we firmly believe that the agriculture of the future demands a harmonious blend of modern science and a profound humility towards nature. Revisiting these forgotten ideas isn't about negating progress. It's about broadening our perspective. If this story has stimulated your thoughts, sparked your curiosity, or compelled you to delve deeper into the intricate connection between soil, plants, and natural energy, we encourage you to share this content with others who might find it equally fascinating. Thank you for staying with Farm Life Daily until the very end of this article. Don't forget to follow our channel to continue exploring more stories, insights, and unique perspectives on rural life and sustainable agriculture. And if you have any thoughts or personal experiences related to this topic, please feel free to leave a comment below. Who knows, perhaps it's through conversations like these that old ideas might find a renewed opportunity to be understood in entirely new ways.